everyone, it's Rachel and welcome to my first doll repaint. So I'm going to start off by removing her factory paint. This is a Monster High doll. Her name is Claudine. I checked with my daughter. She knows all about Monster High. But I chose Claudine because she has ears, and this design came from my friend's personal drawing of if she were a My Little Pony and if that My Little Pony was a person, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. So I decided to turn her drawing into a doll, and now I'm removing the hair, and I'm just cutting it off as close as I can. This is going to be the first part to a 2, maybe 3-part video. It's a lot of hours of recording, and I like to keep my videos pretty short. So keeping with that trend, it's going to be a few parts if you don't mind bearing with me on that. So once I got all our hair cut off, I used a blow dryer and softened that plastic at the neck of the doll so I could remove her head. And for a second I thought I broke the pin, but I didn't. And now I'm starting to take out the hair where it's glued into the head, and I'm proving to not be all that successful. And I think it took me like an hour to get all the hair off this doll's head. I'm finally getting a little bit of progress of scraping my tweezers. You can see like the hair is finally starting to disappear, and I get my first clump of hair. Yay! So exciting. And once I got her all finished, that's the picture that my friend drew. Once I got it all finished, I cut off a little circle on the back of her head because I'm going to be doing inside eyes. Now I'm doing a 2-part epoxy sculpt to do her ears to make them more My Little Pony like. And I'm using the epoxy sculpt because, well, this is what I see other doll repainters doing on YouTube, but also from what I understand from watching other repainting videos is that you can't use the bake kind of clay, and so I'm using epoxy sculpt and sculpting away at her ears. Here I decided to use a Q-tip because it was the only thing kind of small enough to get in those crevices to blend into the ear, so it's not just flat, it kind of curves in like an ear would, and to blend the base of the epoxy sculpt to the head. And I'm using water to help smooth it out and to help shape, as that's what the directions say to use. Alright, and I finished sculpting, and now I propped them up and let them dry overnight. Once they were dry, I started painting them, and I'm doing this white to blue gradient. And I decided to just start by doing an all-over white with my acrylic. And this is just the cheap acrylic that you can buy at Walmart for like 50 cents. And I did decide to blend to get a lighter blue for the mid-tone, but I will be painting over that and sponging over that to blend it better and have a really nice transition. Here you can see me using the makeup sponge. These makeup sponges are really inexpensive, and I got this idea for blending thanks to watching nail videos like Christine from Simply Nail Logical, where she dabs to make her nails look fab, but I'm dabbing to make these ears look fab, hopefully. Alright, now that I've finished with the ears and they're dry, I decided to paint the scalp to the colors of hair that I'm going to be putting in later, just because that's what other repainters do. And also, if you noticed from the factory after I removed her hair, there was kind of like some brown paint to kind of blend the scalp to the hair. And now I'm getting my pastels out and using an old emery board to get shavings off and blending them, and this is what I'm going to try to use as the base. Also, I forgot to mention that before doing this pastel layer, I did do 3 layers of Mr. Super Clear, and I let them dry at least 30 minutes to an hour in between each spray, just to have a nice base from, again, what I've seen from other repainting videos, and just to prime the head and give it some, I guess, tooth to hold on to the pastels that I'm putting on. But one thing I did notice is, even though I had blended the pastels and I was getting them on, they kind of muddied together, and it was one tone instead of a lighter tone and a darker tone. So after sealing that with another coat of Mr. Super Clear and letting that dry for 30 minutes, I decided to break out my acrylics again and just do the base of her face with acrylics. Once I finished and was happy with the paint on the face, I did let it dry, and then I sealed it again with Mr. Super Clear. And now I'm just using some black acrylic to lightly put some eyebrows on and do the crease, the eyelid crease, and coloring in the top lash line with black to blend in with the lashes that I will be putting on later. and then I went over the eyelid crease part with some of the dark blue to kind of give it like more of a shadow effect and not like a stark black. Just trying to blend it, and I added a little bit of the dark blue to the eyebrows as well, just to help define them a little bit and to blend them a little bit better as well. And I'm using a size 0 liner brush to try to get some fine detail in there. And I started doing the contour and the shading of the lips with the dark blue pastels, but I unfortunately was out of frame, so I apologize for that. But I'm also blending I'm blending the white there for like a highlight, but I also blend that peach pastel color and the red to kind of get a rosy color for the cheeks for a little bit of blush and a little bit on the lips as well. And I'm just highlighting between the eyebrow and the eyelash crease where I guess the brow bone is, to just kind of show a little bit more dimension. And then I mixed some white and pink acrylic to kind of get a more flesh toned for the waterline, so that the waterline looked a little bit more realistic in the end. Here I'm just adding blush, apparently off frame or almost off frame. And I forgot to darken the nostrils, so I'm just doing that with the watercolor pencil. And now I'm gonna finish the eyes. I don't have a video of me painting for this video, but in the next repaint with the all pink doll, I will show you how I paint eyes. And I'm just using a UV resin to fill in the eyes so that they look rounded and domed like a natural eye. And as you can see, I get bubbles here, so I'm going to use a lighter and lightly graze it with the flame to pop all those bubbles and get all the air bubbles out, so I have a nice clear resin. And then I just cover that with a UV nail lamp, and it doesn't say specifically how long to do it. I did it for about 10 minutes and they were cured. And I'm going to use these lashes that I got from the dollar store. I cut them down, glued them on with the glue that you saw in frame, and then I glued in the eye and had it attached to the end of a pencil with the sticky moldable eraser, and I just let that dry, and I did that with the other one. And that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching.